animals on this planet have pulled off what cats have. They went from small, unremarkable forest dwellers to the most successful group of predators the land has ever seen. And the wild part? Most people have absolutely no idea this story even happened. Today we are going to fix that. Here's what blows my mind every time I think about it. There are over 37 species of wildcats alive right now, every single one of them, from the snow leopards stalking mountain ridges at 18,000 feet to the sand cats surviving in temperatures that would kill most mammals, descends from a single lineage that figured out something no other predator group has matched. Cats cracked the code on killing, and then they refined it across millions of years until the result was something almost too perfect to believe. So let us go back to where this all began, because the origin of cats is genuinely stranger than most people expect. We are talking about a time roughly 25 million years ago during the Oligocene epoch. The ancestors of modern cats were not the sleek, muscular hunters you picture today. They were small, relatively modest carnivores living in forests, probably spending significant time in trees. The group they belonged to, called Felidae, was just beginning to branch away from the broader family of carnivores that also gave us dogs, bears, and seals. At this point, nothing about them screamed future dominance. The turning point, and this is where things get genuinely fascinating, came from a combination of factors that almost seemed designed by some cosmic engineer. Cats began evolving a set of tools so precisely matched to predatory hunting that each individual adaptation reinforced every other one. It was not just one lucky mutation, it was a cascade of changes that compounded across millions of years. Start with the retractile claw. Most people know cats have retractile claws, but fewer people appreciate why this is such a radical innovation. When a cat is not actively hunting, those claws stay sheathed. This keeps them razor sharp because they are not constantly grinding against the ground. The moment a cat launches an attack, those claws deploy instantly and grip with extraordinary force. No other major predator group evolved this exact mechanism. Dogs wear their claws down constantly. Bears have impressive claws, but they function more like tools than weapons. Cats turn their claws into precision instruments by essentially keeping them in storage until the critical moment. Now, combine that with the skeletal structure. A cat's spine is remarkably flexible compared to most mammals of similar size. When a cheetah runs, its spine acts almost like a spring, compressing and extending with each stride to generate speed that should be physically impossible for an animal of that size. When a leopard launches from a tree branch, that same spinal flexibility lets it absorb impact and immediately redirect its momentum. The skeleton is not just a frame, it is an active participant in the hunt. Then there is the vision. Cats evolved eyes positioned at the front of their face, which gives them exceptional depth perception. Their pupils can dilate to enormous sizes in low light, then narrow to precise slits in bright conditions. The reflective layer behind their retina, called the tapetum lucidum, bounces light back through the photoreceptors a second time, essentially giving them 2 passes at every photon that enters the eye. This is why cats can operate in light conditions that would leave most prey animals effectively blind. But here is where the evolution story takes a genuinely surprising turn. About 11 million years ago, something dramatic happened. A group of early cats crossed from Asia into the Americas via the land bridge that connected the continents. This migration event was explosive in terms of evolutionary consequence. The American continent offered an environment with different prey, different landscapes, and different competitive pressures. Cats that made the crossing began diversifying rapidly. The ocelot lineage emerged. The puma lineage emerged. Eventually, the ancestors of the cheetah made a remarkable journey back from the Americas into the Old World. Yes, the cheetah, the animal most people associate with Africa, actually has deep evolutionary roots in the Americas. When you see a cheetah sprint across the Serengeti today, you are watching the descendant of a North American cat that migrated across continents and refined its speed into something that touches 70 miles per hour. The big cats came later, diverging between roughly 6 and 10 million years ago. The lion, tiger, jaguar, leopard, and snow leopard each adapted to radically different environments while preserving the core toolkit their ancestors had built. The tiger became the ambush specialist of dense Asian forests. The lion became the only truly social wildcat, developing cooperative hunting strategies that let it take down prey several times its own size. The jaguar became so physically powerful that it's evolved a completely different killing technique from most cats, crushing through the skulls of its prey rather than targeting the throat. What unites all of them across these massive differences in size, habitat, and behavior is the underlying architecture. The forward-facing eyes, the retractile claws, the flexible spine, the specialized teeth designed not for grinding, but for gripping, puncturing, and severing. Evolution kept the core design and then customized the details for each ecological niche. And then there is the domestic cat, which represents perhaps the strangest chapter in this entire story. Around 10,000 years ago, as humans began farming in the Fertile Crescent, wildcats started hanging around human settlements. Not because humans invited them, but because farms created rodent populations and rodents were prey. These wildcats essentially domesticated themselves by tolerating proximity to humans in exchange for reliable hunting grounds. Every domestic cat alive today carries that ancient predatory heritage completely intact. Your house cat stalking a toy mouse is running the exact same neural and muscular software that a leopard runs while hunting in the dark. The secret evolution of cats is really a story about how relentless refinement over millions of years can produce something that looks like perfection. Every feature connects to every other feature. The claws stay sharp for the retractile mechanism. The eyes gather light for the nocturnal hunts. The spine flexes for the explosive burst. It compounds, it reinforces, and it works. Cats did not just survive the history of life on Earth, they mastered it. And the most remarkable part of all is that this masterpiece is currently sitting on your couch, judging you